No, I will take your silence as a no.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
All
go
right.
to the
I got
behemoth.
nothing. Yeah,
No,
behemoth.
I'm going to the behemoth.
All right, you're back at the behemoth. Now that
Yay.
God has tortured your brains, you can
Mhm.
try to get a night's sleep. Sorry.
Woo!
Shit gets real sometimes. I mean, slavery's a pretty serious fucking thing. So,
Yeah, it is.
all
Mhm.
right. So, all right.
I guess late into the night,
Mhm.
if people even care about noises, you will hear, for the most part, um, clangs and clinks, and that's
Okay.
about it.
Oh, Mila would investigate that shit, but
So would Al, because Al's not gonna be sleeping.
Mila's not sleeping. She slept earlier.
That's true.
She
That's
got,
all she
like,
needs for
a
like the
week.
next. Yeah, I'm good for a while.
You will hear clangs and clinks that are very much towards the workshop area.
Okay. Mila would like be doing like secret spy, rolling on the ground, like hiding behind walls and following the noise.
How do the doors work in this?
Oh, they will work however you want them to work. I always just pictured it as a single panel, like Star
Slide
Trek
door?
style.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I was
slide door.
thinking.
Okay.
Mila would, I guess, poke her head into the room. Da, da, da. Oh no, copyright.
We won't tell. We won't tell.
Mhm.
You can describe how loud you want the door to be opened or whatnot. If it's like the normal door sound, or if you're like trying to only make
Shink! The door opened.
Okay.
Mila would look at it and go, shh. Then she'd roll it.
You will see. You'll see Patrick look back. And if you see Patrick, you'll see him turn and then turn back and continue to do his thing. At you'll probably see this just probably a single lamplight pointed at the spacecraft while he is going around and digging out any dings and seeing if he cannot replace any small parts or whatnot that he can see around it, or remove anything that seems like something that was jammed in there. and-
Mila, sorry.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say Mila would just cross her legs and kind of watch Patrick for a little bit, like tilt her head to the side.
Al would come in probably behind Mila and watch and see what Patrick's doing, and then after a minute or two, he would, unless someone stops him, he'd probably grab a hammer and join him. Like, not say a word, but just join him.
Patrick would look. He would look wide-eyed and go, "What are you doing?"
What are you
Yeah,
doing?
Al, what are you doing?
I'm
You're not the person who fixes things, Al.
I can fix things.
I
Al says unconfidently.
and Patrick's going to try to remove the hammer from his hand by probably just delicately gripping the top and trying to pull it out.
Then how can I help?
With this, and Patrick will sit there. If you can find a book that has a make and model of this, I can more accurately work on this, but at the moment I'm more doing things that seem to be out of place and obviously needs fixing.
What time is it? Oh, sorry.
And Patrick will look around, whatever late time you'd want it.
10 o'clock.
It is 10.
Oh,
I think Al would shake his head and say, "No, I don't. You don't understand. I don't want to read a book. I don't want to find a make or model or serial number. I want to help my friend."
That's the best way to do it. If
I'm sorry.
Poor Patrick.
This is hilarious.
if you want something physical, and he'll look around. You're probably pretty good with weapons. Actually, I actually briefly made this, and he'll take out a camera, and he will put it into your hand, and he'll say, "I've worked on this. It's a little crude. It should work properly, but you do have a knife that seems to work similarly to this. If you can maybe look into that."
With that, Al would nod his head and then take it over a few feet away, I guess, to the workbench and start poking around on it.
Okay.
And you, Patrick will look over his shoulder, and it's like the chassis opens up there, and I think I can leave the rest to you.
And Al would actually be very, very surprised, like, whoa. Like, I'm assuming, would I be able to grab the gist of what's been done?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'd be like Al would be incredibly impressed.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll go back, sort of dust off a few things, and then go back to, if somebody's watching intently, it would be something along the lines of somebody walking around a sculpture and putting a few tinks into it, and then continuing to look around.
Hello.
And
Interrupting.
go for it, Brianna.
Oh no, Mila would just, at that point, Mila would get up and like follow, kind of like slowly shadow Patrick, kind of like trying to look intently to see what he sees. Not really getting it, but still watching.
I don't know why Al couldn't have hammered things out.
And for I guess any more detail, he's using multitude of tools to remove any sort of physical elements, probably something like metals that have been jarred in there, since it's probably been the junkyard and whatnot, and of course any sort of things that have been trying to live in it, been trying to remove nests and whatnot.
Cool.
All right.
Okie dokie. Anything else you guys want to roleplay for the night, or discuss in or out of character as
No.
to next steps, or?
I think Al might eventually fall asleep at the workbench, but that's about it.
Okay. All right. Tom?
Had to go somewhere. He'll be right back.
Oh.
I think
I see.
Patrick will work fairly late into the night, at least for him, which will be somewhere around like midnight to 1. But he probably would have worked later if nobody showed up. But I think
Okay.
he's a bit better spirits to head to bed.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
He just leaves Al at the workbench.
Yep.
Nice.
Good night, Al. Don't want to bug you.
Just turn off the
Thank
lights
you.
when you're done.
He assumes you know what you're doing.
So we don't need to go hour by hour for the night. It will just pass just fine. Once again, we're kind of open in this open air storytelling space right now, in which your guys' actions really determine on what's done next. Of course, I have some NPC reactions for you guys, but of course I want to put the ball in your court, all right? So it is a new day. Let's see here. It will be Friday now, I believe. Time's kind of fluid right now. I should have been keeping a track of day by day, but it's a Friday. So is there anything in particular you guys want to do or discuss in the morning?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
I guess like over breakfast, after everyone's
Mhm.
had some sleep, Al will bring up the topic. So, You all heard what was said about the leader of
Hubbardsfield. Here, that's
Huddersfield,
fine.
yeah, of Huddersfield, right?
No, Huddersfield.
Huddersfield, sorry.
And everyone except for Mila, Kriana made it pretty clear that she was listening to her music during this time. I don't think she would have just taken off her headphones. Am I right in that assumption?
Correct.
Was this during the interrogation?
No. The one I was treating. When I was treating
Oh.
the people.
Oh, I think he will go. Yeah, I recall something about a noble, but that's about as far as I can.
All right, let me refresh everyone. She
Sure.
said that the person in charge of this
Here, I'll
entire...
get the name.
Oh, yes.
I left. I totally accidentally closed my window. I left my own goddamn campaign. So there it is. So I was told is that her name is Teen Person.
Person.
Yeah.
That is
yeah.
odd.
Well, with two S's.
Mhm.
Teen Person, and she is the community head of Huddersfield. That's that. Her voice was recognized talking to the other slavers by that bird-like DB that Al treated. She also mentioned that to find her place, just look for the biggest house in Huddersfield and you'd find her.
So I would refresh everyone who hadn't heard or whatnot, and he'd say,
Mm-hmm.
I want to bring her to justice.
Okay.
There we go. Easiest way. Okay.
Yeah.
And Patrick looking a bit bleak before Milad piped up, and he'll go, what she said.
Okay.
Inferno.
Yeah.
I have an out of character question.
Sure.
When is my big performance?
It's actually on Saturday evening.
Saturday evening. Okay.
Yeah, so tomorrow night.
As long as I'm
Okay.
here for tomorrow night, we can do it.
Oh, my plans are to take care of it right now. I don't want to do something bad to someone who doesn't deserve it, which means we have to make sure that she actually was involved. But
Mhm.
there's always ways to do that.
So just to give you a heads up for time frames of stuff that you've planned, right?
Yeah.
So it's Friday. Saturday night is the big performance with Tom and the Firebrand and the Endless Storytellers.
Mhm.
Sunday night is going to be the big get-together arranged by Zoe. The intimate kind of get-together for all the heads of the councils and all that good stuff to lay your little salt trap for the possible changeling. And then Monday night would have been, okay, I said 5 days, it should have been 3 days. Monday night was when they were going to meet, but like McCleary said, they probably are not going to meet once they found out all the slaves were just found. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
So, news is already, well, no, you haven't been out and about in New Laszlo, so I can't tell you what has spread or what hasn't spread as far as news goes. But, yeah, so that's kind of just a heads up on the timeline. So, there you go. All right.
There is
My-
one thing that I need to do today
Mhm.
before we go. I need to stop by a tailor, and I'll be free to go.
Taylor?
Yeah, it's for tomorrow night's performance. Just don't worry about it. I'll be like 10 minutes.
Okay.
Okay.
So here's my thoughts. She obviously wouldn't know us, but she would know coins. If word is starting to get out, and I assume it is, of some sort of slave trade, or even if it's not, this would still probably work. I suggest a direct approach. rush into her house, claiming to be friends of Coins, who was helping him behind her back, but it's not important because she's the boss, and everything's going to hell, and they're coming for us, and we've got to get out of here, and if she has anything to do with the slave ring, she'll probably tip her hand.
And if she doesn't, she's probably going to have us arrested.
Yeah, true enough. I don't like the idea of kidnapping someone I'm not sure did something wrong.
Yeah, neither am I, but there's a possibility that she is at the head of this ring, but there's also, we need to be here tomorrow night and Sunday night.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Huddersfield isn't that far away. It's like a 30-minute drive.
Right. All right, maybe a more delicate approach. Maybe approach her, tell her that Coin sent us, and see if she responds that way, and if she doesn't...
Yeah? Yeah, I could get behind that. Mila? Patrick?
Well, it sounds like she did it, and we should go stop her.
I agree. Al's like gonna pinch his thumb and forefingers because he really, really wants to make sure this is done right. Well, first things, why don't we just do that and we'll play it by ear.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So Tom's going to lead first towards the tailor.
Mm-hmm. And
Okay.
taking both of those red robes.
Okay.
Hmm?
Alrighty. So, what is your intent, sir? You're able to find a good tailor easily enough in New Laszlo. Just asking around on the street, you're pointed towards one that just takes walk-in appointments, even this early in the morning. So it is a tall, lanky gentleman who's has gray hair, who's balding. He has small little spectacles rested upon his nose and long fingers as he wraps them around his belly. And he says, "Ah, yes, young man, how can I help you?"
All right. Well, I'm a part of the Endless Storytellers.
Yes, yes.
I have these two articles of clothing, and I'm going to lay down the robes on top of a surface. Now, I got these from a friend of mine.
Yes.
What I would like, I like the material. I love the material.
Yes,
I
yes,
would
yes.
love it if I could get these somehow incorporated so that I could have a costume. One, I want to have it be a robe with a hood, but also that covers the lower part of my face. It's part of the act, you see.
Okay, I see. So raise up so the lower half of your face is covered, and then have the hood cover your hair and the upper regions.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
All right. Now he takes the material and he runs his hands, his long fingers through the silken fabric. He goes, "This is very, very, very delicate, very nice. I must say it's very rare to have anything silken nowadays. It's mostly recovered from old ruins, and most of the times the bugs get to it, you see. This is in pristine condition. Are you sure you want me to alter it at all? I definitely do have the skill to do so, but in order to make I'm assuming you would want your hood and your mask to be made of the same material for me to take it from the second cloak and to impart it onto the first? Are you absolutely certain you want to destroy one or disassemble one of these fine pieces of fabric?
Yes.
I just wanted to make sure to have your consent, just because it is fine indeed. But It's definitely more than enough material to do what you want. Here, why don't you hold still and I'll just take a few measurements.
Mm-hmm.
And he takes out a long tapered measuring tape, and he measures around your head and your body and around your neck and from your ear to your shoulders, the whole deal. And he goes over to a little notepad and he sketches out a few ideas for you until you both can come to terms to or come into agreement as to what exactly you visualized. He says, yes, very well. I could start to work on this right away, I suppose. When is time a factor here?
Yes, it kind of is. My performance is tomorrow night.
Nothing like leaving it to the night before. Well, that's
Yeah.
all right. My standard fee then for a rushed job, although rush in time, not in work, young man, would come to and he looks at you probingly, 250 credits.
Oh, of course. And I'll hand over the credits.
Ah, wonderful. Well, please come back in the evening. I will leave my assistants to run the shop while I work on this personally. I wouldn't trust them, although they are skilled to work with any other fabric. Rather than my own hands. So,
Thank you, sir. And I'll tell you what, if you do a good enough job, I'll let you have the rest of the material.
well, thank you very much. That will just be an incentive for me to be doubly careful. Not to say I wouldn't have already, he says.
All right.
And while you are out, Tom, out and about, actually, Caleb comes on by to visit the behemoth and asks to speak with Mila.
Mila would have answered the door.
Of course you would. Oh, hey, Mila. Now, just as a refresher, since we have a lot of NPCs kicking around, do you know who Caleb is?
Yeah, he's the manager of all the singy stuff,
The
and
acts
he's like
and
the
what?
leader. Yeah, he's kind of the head guy
He's
there.
the leader.
He's the guy who I go to if I have song questions.
Bingo. You're wonderful.
I'm smart.
And he asks for you two to just take a walk around the grounds, around the behemoth, if that's okay.
Okay. Mila would
Okay.
Mila would actually, since Tom's gone, would throw a leash on Hannibal and take Hannibal out for a walk with them.
Oh, okay. Caleb
I
doesn't
heard
seem.
that completely differently.
Anyways,
I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
Caleb is undisturbed by this, and once you get Hannibal ready to go outside, you walk for a few minutes, just make some small chat before he breaks into the main reason why he's here. He says, I got an interesting visit from one Ashwin Calabar, and I have to say, it's not every day that the healed up hero and founder of a city comes and speaks to little old me. And did you know what he had to say?
Mila's still struggling to remember who this person is.
Ashwin Calabar is, when you first met him, he was the Cyber Knight, kind of the head of the military and defense, who was the victim of a severe bomb attack.
I know.
He
who
was
it-
bandaged. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
You know
Oh,
who he is.
Mila.
Okay.
Mila doesn't. She'll just
Oh,
nod her head.
Mila
though.
doesn't.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
She'll
okay,
just nod
sorry.
her head along, and
Good on
then
you.
yeah.
No worries. So, he says he said he saw one of your daytime performances, about 3 or 4 days ago, and he was simply enraptured with your voice. And he was quite insistent, since he will be at one of our big stage performance tomorrow night. He made it pretty clear that he would really, really like to see you sing on stage as well. So, who am I to say what the audience wants? And Zoe does like to play politics, so I'm here to offer you a temporary job. Our lead female singer for Canto, Michelle, is playing the starring role in the stage performance. One of your friend there, Tom, and the Firebrand, They're going to be assisting in this performance. But of course, before and after the show itself, we do require a feminine voice with our a cappella group. If you like, we would like you to just come in on a few rehearsals, pick up what you know, maybe sing a duet or a solo song for that evening, if that's something that you're interested in.
Mila's eyes just light up. That would be wonderful!
Good. I'm glad you're happy. Hey, just out of curiosity, how well do you know Ashwin?
I met him a few passing. In passing, I met him, and I remember who he is. Trust me. I don't know him real well.
Okay, all right. He kind of looks at you like a little suspiciously and kind of eyes you up a little. Not eyes you up. That sounds crude. He looks you over real quick and he goes, "Okay, all right, Mila. You're not a very good liar, you know." He kind of gives it a chuckle, but he goes, what can I say? Well, meet with us tonight. We're going to meet by Zoe's trailer and just go over a few songs, and we'll see. Come on by, and we'll see what you can pick up. How's that sound?
Okay. That sounds really good.
Okay, great. He says, and he gives a pleasant smile. And unless there's anything else you want to talk to him about, he'll excuse himself and leave. He's got one heck of a day, so.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Mila grab. Mila's too excited now, so Mila's gonna pick up Hannibal and run back to the behemoth.
Excellent. All right. There's that. So, Tom, you're able to get back just fine. Al, Mila, Patrick, if there's anything else you wanted to do in that 20-30 minutes that Tom and Mila were occupied, feel free. If not, you can enact your plan, your next moves.
No, but during the time, Al did think of a better plan.
Okay.
a slight deviation on it. What,
Plan is always good.
Patrick is going to sort of somewhat eagerly go back. He looks like he has anticipation on his face. Did you do anything to the camera?
Did I do anything to the camera? I assume if I could have improved it in some way, I would have, but I don't know if there's...
But you can't.
Yeah.
No. That was way over your head. You're just like... It was more just looking at admiring it that you could do.
Al would just be like, no, Patrick, it's a piece of art, almost. There's nothing that I needed to do to it. It's perfectly fine the way it is.
I was thinking about more... if I could actually use less battery power but still use enough kick for people. I didn't know how much I actually needed to use, but I think I got it somewhere around the case. I could probably use a bit more some sort of metallic material, but something that's less conductive, so it could pass x-rays easier. Maybe even have it like the track, and you'll just kind of go on and on.
And like Al will be like, yeah, that's yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Good.
Al knows some mathematics and chemistry, but
He's speaking techno.
going way over Al's head, yeah.
Anywho, well, feel free to discuss this new altered plan with the rest of the group here, and you guys can either speak in or out of character. Typically, when players plan stuff, it's always a meld of both, so you don't have to act like completely 100%, stay 100% in character while discussing this plan if you feel that limits you.
Okay, my thoughts were this. News is probably starting to spread of the slavery ring, but there's a decent chance that news hasn't hit all the way out in Huddersfield yet, because it's a ways out, and word doesn't travel as fast in the rural area. What if we did this? What if we had Tom, who looks the most innocent of us, no offense, Tom, simply
he's gonna shrug at that.
simply just ride up to her door, knock on it, and say that he was paid from someone named Coins to tell whoever stayed here that he's had enough of this and that he's taking all the merchandise for himself, and that's it. And then just ride away. And if she has nothing to do with it, she's not going to have a clue what it means, and nothing will happen. If she does have something to do with it, her first reaction will be to either go herself or send someone to where they were kept to check to see if this is true or not. That way, if we wait, we lay in wait. If someone shows up to try and get the slaves, we know.